In 2007, this company sold half of all the phones on Earth. It was worth $250 billion at its peak. Its phones were so tough, people joked they could survive anything. Then a computer company announced a phone with no keyboard. Nokia's executives laughed. 7 years later, Nokia's phone business was gone. This is how the king of mobile lost everything. Nokia started in Finland in 1865 as a paper mill. Over a century, it made rubber boots, cables, and televisions. But in the 1990s, it bet everything on one product, the mobile phone. The bet paid off beyond imagination. By 1998, Nokia was the biggest phone maker in the world. Its ringtone became the most played melody on the planet. Its phones were legendary, indestructible. In dozens of countries, the word for mobile phone was simply Nokia. At its peak, Nokia controlled about 40% of the entire global phone market. No company had ever dominated an industry like this. But inside the giant, something was rotting. Nokia's software was old and clumsy. Engineers inside the company had actually built touchscreen prototypes years before anyone else. Management looked at them and put them on a shelf. Why risk changing when you're winning? That question would cost them everything. January 2007. Steve Jobs walks on stage and announces the iPhone. A phone with no keyboard. Just a screen of glass. Nokia's leadership was not impressed. Executives reportedly mocked it. It was too expensive. The battery was weak. It couldn't even survive a drop. By every measure Nokia cared about, the iPhone was a bad phone. But Nokia was measuring the wrong things. The iPhone wasn't a better phone. It was a pocket computer, and the war had quietly changed. While Apple built an app store and Google gave Android away for free, Nokia kept polishing its old software, Symbian. It was like renovating a house while the neighborhood burned down. Developers hated building apps for it. Customers started noticing their friends' phones could do things their Nokia couldn't. Nokia was still selling millions of phones. The numbers looked fine. And that was the trap. The prophets of yesterday were hiding the collapse of tomorrow. By 2011, the panic finally hit. Nokia's new CEO wrote a famous internal memo comparing the company to a man standing on a burning oil platform, forced to jump into icy water. Nokia jumped. It abandoned its own software and bet everything on Microsoft's Windows Phone. It was a desperate alliance between two giants who had both missed the future. Customers didn't want it. Developers didn't want it. The market share didn't stabilize. It fell off a cliff. In 2013, the unthinkable happened. Nokia sold its entire phone business to Microsoft for around $7 billion, a business once worth $250 billion. At the final press conference, Nokia's CEO reportedly said, "We didn't do anything wrong, but somehow we lost." That sentence became famous because it was exactly the problem. Doing nothing wrong is not the same as doing what's right. Nokia didn't die because the iPhone was better. It died because winning made it blind. It had the technology, it had the engineers. It even had the prototypes. What it didn't have was the courage to destroy its own success before someone else did. Every fallen giant learns this lesson too late. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe. Every week we break down another empire that thought it was too big to fall. Next time the choice is yours. Vote in the comments.